We are here today at Blockhouse Life, where Andy Barrett, one of our board members, and really the inspiration behind using cross-laminated timber, he is going to show us Blockhouse Life, his short-term housing development here in Perry Street District in Spokane, Washington. It's a little cold, so let's go get him and have him give us a tour. I'm excited to see it. And then talk a little bit more about stick built, talk a little bit about CLT, and where Matt's place is going for multifamily housing units. So I'm excited to share what we have going on. Come on.
Theresa,
Hi.
I'm glad you're here.
It's good to see you.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready to give me a tour?
I'll give you a tour of Blockhouse.
All right, let's do it.
Perfect. Let's start over here.
Okay.
We worked with our friends at Avista using the roof next door pilot program, and we put our solar panels up there. This is a net zero project, and so all of our solar panels are on Perry Street Brewery.
So this district down here has a lot of reinvigorating kind of things happening. You've got breweries, you've got restaurants. What is Blockhouse, though?
Blockhouse is an infill project. We took 3 lots and put 14 units on here. I like to say that these units are all toothbrush ready. All you need is a toothbrush and you can move in.
You can move in.
All furnished.
These are micro living environments.
That's
though,
correct.
Right?
They're 480 square feet, 240 square feet, and 960 square feet.
So different sizes.
Studio, 1 bedroom, and 3 bedrooms.
What made you come up with the idea of wanting to do a short-term housing development like this with CLT?
Yeah, I don't really call it short-term. It's a more flexible term. So a lot of our guests, some stay for 1 night, 2 nights. A lot of people stay for 6 months, 12 months. Some people have been here since we've opened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a lot of flexibility with that.
That's correct. And we decided this was my first project with cross-laminated timber, and really the inspiration for 2.0,
Yeah.
Matt's Place 2.0. We worked closely with Vaughan Timbers up in Colville, and part of our circular economy, this solid wood walls and floors and ceilings have all been sourced in the Colville National Forest. The wood panels came from Colville, from Vaughan Timbers, all flat packed in order so that they came off in the right order, and they were quickly assembled right here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Andy, tell me a little bit of your favorite things about Blockhouse.
Sure. When we developed this, we wanted to keep as many of the trees on premise as possible, and so we actually built around some of the trees, as you can see right there. But we do have a nice natural canopy here over the blockhouses. Another feature that I really like is this is all reclaimed siding, and it came from a building in downtown Spokane that was built in 1900, and we took the beams out of it and made it into our siding. When we were looking at those big beams, it's the red fir. That red fir tree started growing in this area in the 1500s.
Oh,
so
my
this
gosh.
siding is wood from the 1500s.
That's incredible.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of this that we didn't expect was the sense of community that was created here. These people are from all over the nation, all over the world, and it brings people together. Mm-hmm. People are meeting new friends. They're over at the coffee shop together. It's really a unique sense of community. One of the areas that I really think that we missed, that we're obviously made up on 2.0, is accessibility. Mm-hmm. We did not make this accessible for wheelchair.
Right.
And so that's one thing that 2.0 and 3.0 we really focus on. And in any future work that I do will be around accessibility.
I think that's just it, though, right? Is if you're not in that world, you don't know.
Correct.
Right? And so that's why I run around and try to tell people, let's think of absolutely everybody when we design so everybody would have space. But this area here, what you've learned from it, what you've built is is not only stunning, but needed for our communities now. I think our communities have kind of gotten disconnected, and this is one example of bringing people together again. So yeah, let's go inside and talk a little bit more about Matt's Place, your involvement with Matt's Place, and where we're going.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you so much for giving us a tour of Blockhouse. It's just a stunning type of design, and we're going to talk a little bit more about cross-laminated timber. For those of you guys that don't know, Andy Barrett is so gracious with his time, and he's willing to sit here and let me ask him lots of questions. So thank you for that.
You bet.
So with Matt's Place, you came into the picture after we'd built our Matt's Place 1.0. The number system didn't come in until a little later, but we had actually called it Matt's Place Coeur d'Alene Home. Obviously, Matt's Place, the location where it's at. It is a stick-built home. It's a traditional stick-built. We could not have done that without North Idaho Building and Contractors Association and the hundreds of subcontractors that came together with all their different skills, and they donated something to get this home built. And it was really incredible. It really was. You came on the board right when we had that opening. Do you remember
I do.
The first
Yes,
family
I do.
living in there?
Yep.
And then you came to Matt and I don't know if you want to tell a little bit about how you came to us and said, hey, I have this idea, because it was far out of our scope of knowledge. So will you tell us a little bit about how you came to us and told us about your idea for the Spokane house?
Sure. Well, with your vision, Matt's Place vision, trying to be able to repeat a product, more homes that can be shipped other places, we knew we wanted to go more modular. And so in the Matt's Place 2.0, we decided to use a product called cross-laminated timber, which is sourced here regionally. And it allows us to make more of the walls and roof assemblies more modular, quicker to assemble.
So to address some of the issues outside of accessibility, right? The United States has a huge housing shortage. That's a big problem with costs and demand, increasing costs and such. Your background is in manufacturing and really finding that efficiency in getting something to move along faster. So you joined with Vaughan Lumber?
Vaughan Timbers.
Vaughan Timber.
Up in Colville, Russ Vaughan.
Yeah, and he was already working with CLT, is that correct?
He was just getting in CLT.
Okay.
Yes.
So this has really been a journey for all of us then, because Matt's Place 2.0 came together with Vaughan Lumber, with Vestas, with Baker Construction that time, Hayden Homes. I mean, we have some incredible contractors and corporations in our area that build commercial and residential. They do amazing. But you're really thinking innovatively and thinking a little outside the lines.
Yeah, we're trying to design a building system, whether it's a residential house or multifamily in Matt's Place 3.0, that can be repeated.
Right.
And so we can design systems that can be designed and produced in a manufacturing setting, flat packed out and rapidly installed.
And with Matt's Place 2.0, we've learned quite a bit from that experience and the family that has given us feedback as well. But what is your feedback? What are the pros and cons of using modular versus stick-built?
Well, using a cross-laminated timber versus stick-built, and there's a place for each one of those. But what we were trying to do on 2.0 was speed. And if we could build some of those components, take a lot of the subs out, bring them into the factory where it's 72 degrees and sunny every day,
right?
We can shorten that build time by about 50%.
Oh, wow.
And so that's really what we were trying to do. Also, we're trying to make it more affordable. So again, by creating a kit of parts, a building kit of parts that an architect or designer can take these kit of parts that are built in the factory and design a home that is accessible, that is affordable, and that is also net zero. That allows us to start working those costs out,
right,
and make it more affordable. And again, something that we could build a house for ALS family and ship it to Missoula, Montana.
Yeah.
Or
isn't that amazing? So I think what's really unique about 2.0 is that, with 1.0, we went to our contractors and subcontractors in our region, said we want to build a home that serves the community. The second time we go to Spokane and we say we want to build a home that serves the community, but we want to learn from this. This is going to be a prototype. I remember in the initial discovery kind of conversations, we talked about creating pods that were placed on the back of a semi and then shipped anywhere in the country. That design has it was on paper, it was on the whiteboard, but what happened with that?
We decided it would probably be more efficient for a flat pack type. So where the finished wall assemblies, and we did do some finished wall assemblies on Matt's Place 2.0, where the entire wall with the insulation and siding with the cross-laminated timber was all produced in the manufacturing environment.
So Andy, what is 3.0, Matt's Place 3.0?
Matt's Place 3.0 is a 9-unit multifamily, 3-story structure made out of mass timber. It'll be modular, flat packed. What we're designing now with Matt's Place 3.0 is a kit of parts. So a kit of parts consists of wall assemblies, roof and floor assemblies, modular kitchens, modular bathrooms, that all can be put together, designed by an architect, and repeated over and over again. The speed of construction is compressed, and it becomes more affordable.
Right. I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out. I know we brought some really amazing people onto this team. We have Swinnerton joining us,
Yes.
Vestas as well as Design for the People interior designer, as well as DCI Engineering and Miller Hull Architects. We have just some really amazing, brilliant minds in all different areas. One of the things I talk about a lot is we can't solve the issues if the people that are touching those lives aren't aware of the problems. And I think a lot of times we want to build a good product. We want to build a good home and a great, beautiful community for people to thrive in. And if one section of them hasn't been thought out of, and it starts to affect more and more people, it's just, I think people can tell that it wasn't designed with them in mind. And I'm really hoping that people see this as not just a home, not just as their home, but 3.0 becoming a peer-to-peer community support. So the second and third floors, we would, ask for a nominal rent or a reduced rent, but those rents would help cover the cost of managing the property. So we're honoring Matt's Place mission with free housing for the main floor for families. Second and third floors could be for families with other similar disorders or challenges. Like I said, spinal cord injury, Parkinson's, SMA. There's a variety of things, diseases that hinder our ability. And when we start thinking of the home as one aspect of care, and you bring in that accessible feature, and you bring in lesser toxins, and they know it was designed for them in mind, and you bring in the technology that helps them control that space, imagine what we've done for that family. It's absolutely incredible. And it extends past ALS. And if we're going to think about innovation, if we're going to talk about what we want our communities to look like in the future for our grandchildren, right? Shouldn't that be what we're focused on?
I love how Matt says we're designing the smartest homes in the world.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see it all coming together. So with Matt's Place 1.0, we were able to buy a lot at cost in a gated community. 2.0 was a little different. Our journey was had a little bit more bumps along the way. And so we were really lucky to partner with the Spokane Catholic Charities, and they provided a lot for free. And then really, that's when you brought in your friends and the people that you knew that were innovative, that really not only wanted to partner with Matt's Place because we think that providing housing for families is vital, but also just the aspect of it of doing more with less, right? We have to be able to do more with less. We have to build more with less people. We don't have the people in the trades. We don't have the houses. You're touching a lot of these key points. Tell me what it was like for Matt's Place 2.0 and how it kind of came together for you.
When we are talking about working with cross-laminated timber, It's an 80-20 rule. When you do stick frame, generally 80% of the cost in stick frame is labor, 20% of the cost is material.
Oh, wow.
Well, that switches when we use cross-laminated timber. 20%, there's a lot less labor,
Right.
but there's more fiber. So the cost is in the actual material.
Okay.
So what we've got to do, and that's our challenge, and that's what we're working on for 3.0, is how do we work those costs out, out of that labor, and so that we can just drop these in, because it's got to be affordable as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really the idea, is accessible, affordable, sustainable.
Correct.
And scalable.
Right.
I don't know if I can remember all those again in order, but that was not bad. What do you think the future of home accessibility and building look like?
Well, I think we definitely need to move towards a net zero, sustainable product that's got to be affordable. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing. So accessibility, affordability. How do we get there? We get there using cross-laminated timber that has zero embodied carbon when it's produced, that it can be operated net zero. Mm-hmm. And the way we get there is through modular. And so a kit of parts that can be repeated over and over again in a factory and that can be assembled very quickly, that's basically Matt's Place 3.0.
And then the families living in there, their energy usage is actually reduced because of the products that we're using.
Correct.
And that helps the climate, and that helps all the families living there.
Their pocketbook.
Kind of a win-win for everybody.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for joining me. And
you bet. My pleasure.
I don't know why you hate doing this. You're doing just fine. I also want to leave this with Andy Barrett. Thanks. It's not even a big enough word. It never is. Cannot tell you how much we appreciate you and all that you've brought and all that you've shared with us. It's been incredible.
Well, thank you for your vision. I appreciate it.
Well, I can never say thank you for this. Also want to say a huge thank you to ALS Finding a Cure We Care. As always, we couldn't have done this without your support. And if you have any interest in learning more about what we're doing, check it out, mattsplacefoundation.org.